Hello friends, and welcome back to Dark Souls. This is Self-Critical Automaton, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the lore theories stuff that I was having trouble articulating last episode, and I'm going to round up and grab a few last things from the top of Sen's Fortress before we go fight the boss. So, the thing I was trying to talk about was that essentially, the chronology we're given for the mythological origins of this world is there was an endless, formless time of grey mist and dragons and trees. The dragons are trees being made of stone and thus immortal, indestructible, and lifeless. The fire came, the fire brought disparity, disparity brought life and death. Life and death... Wait, why did I come up here? I already killed that giant. Okay. Life and death brought, well, all of that disparity stuff that I've talked about in other episodes. So, the, mortal individuals came into being. And, those first people, the mortal individuals of the early world, they weren't gods, humans, giants. They were all sort of just one thing. Oh, fuck. Well, I did need to come down here anyway. Well, I didn't need to, but I wanted to pick up the sniper crossbow because it's a cool thing to have. Hello, Mr. Baldenite. See if I can get a drop attack. There we go, fantastic. And a backstab! Excellent work, I say to myself. So yeah, and it's implicit that the dragons set themselves up, discovering themselves as primordial creatures who do not know life and death, find themselves conscious in a world of life and death. That's, you know, that's a prime set up for, you know, oppression and horrible bullshit. So, naturally, the dragons rule the world as horrible giant lizard monsters, and, basically, it's not until, the four lords take... this is interesting. This guy is wearing armour that looks a lot like Bereniki armour. He sells a bunch of stuff too.
What? Who are you? Ah, another undead. I took my Sen's Fortress alone, but I'm no different from those vile creatures. I was driven by conceit. Ah, you think you're different? That you can handle? Yes, I remember that feeling. For I was the same. So, let me help you out. With your soul searching.
Yeah, this guy is known as the Crestfallen Merchant. He's basically the Crestfallen Knight, except that he sells stuff.
There's nothing more to say. I'm finished. We're both on the brink, you see. End of story. You bloody fool.
Not very nice. He sells a bunch of useful stuff. I'm not going to buy any of this right now, but I'm going to take a quick look down the list. Great sword, great axe, arrows... Ah yeah, he sells the Katarina armour, and he sells his own armour, which is the steel set. And, it's made clear here that he is in fact wearing Bereniki armour. The helm of the Knights of Bereniki, known for their heavy armour. Countless Knights of Bereniki, once extolled as the mightiest of the mighty, became undead and ventured to Lordran, but their journey was for naught, as they went hollow and became a threat to all undead. So... I'm not sure I actually read the backstory of the Balder armour, but it's not that interesting. Can't remember what I was going to say.
Nothing at all. Fine then.
So, the implication is therefore that he is a Bereniki who has not gone hollow yet. Or possibly that he is wearing stolen Bereniki armour, but, I prefer the former. You know, he's lost hope, but he hasn't gone hollow yet, so... Anyway, as I was saying, this world must have been a really, really horrible place, because even though life had begun, the creatures who live there are being, you know, devoured, preyed upon by dragons. It's not fun for anyone except for the dragons, right? So, the people who become gods find within the flame the souls of lords. Sorry for all the sniffling, I'm still a little bit unwell. They use that to become gods and cast down the dragons. It also mentions, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but my theory with the fact that Seath betrayed the dragons was that, well, he's Seath the Scaleless. He was born without the stone scales that gave the primordial dragons their invulnerability, their immortality. So, I think he was the first dragon to have been born after the coming of disparity. He was the first mortal dragon. He was the first dragon as an organism rather than as an immortal stone primordial creature. See, I told you I would find these. There's a weird, almost Half-Life 2 ending-esque habit that the Chosen Undead has of willingly locking herself in dangerous cages. Oh, this guy's a pain. So yeah, this leads back down here. This is not the ideal place to be, but... Fuck! Okay, I was going to use this as an opportunity to go rescue Big Hat Logan, but I don't want to die just yet, so I think I will do that afterwards. After what? Well, I suppose at some other point. But this is now a shortcut so that we can get more easily from between here and the place where between the bonfire and Andre's place. So I think I'm just going to hurry on and go take care of the boss now. But yeah, so what I was saying was that it's clear that Seath envied the immortality of his forebears, and that's why he betrayed the dragons and sided with the mortals. It also says that you know, there's these four individuals who took the souls of lords, and each of those four individuals seems to have begat a race of mortals. Gwyn, people, and the other gods of Gwyn's folk, they're people of the giants. This is Black Iron Tarkus. He's very popular because he's basically available for this one fight, and he's a total badass, and he can basically solo this boss. Still, come on, catch up. Let's go fight a giant metal man. He's an Iron Man. Yeah, so what the hell was I talking about? I was talking about... So the people of the gods are the giants. The kin of the gods, I suppose, are the giants. The people of the sorry, I might be a bit forgetty because I'm kind of, you know, fighting a boss. People of the Witch of Izalith were the Witches of Izalith, who then, of course, became the demons after the corrupted attempt to recreate the first flame became the Flame of Chaos. So then the people of Nito are, of course, the dead. And I think that Nito... Oh, dicks. Well, I think that Nito, as first of the dead, is not just... You know... That's not a first among equals. I think he is literally the first person to ever have died, and that's why, when he took power, he became the Lord of Dead. Lord of the Dead. But just as an interesting aside, there's never really a clear indication of what the afterlife is within this world. There is no mention of what people believe happens to you after you die. The undead keep coming back, but what happens to humans who are not yet cursed with the undead? What happens to things that aren't human? There's no mention of a heaven or a hell. There's no mention of a Valhalla or a Gehenna or a whatever it was, or a Hades, you know. So, what does it mean that Nito is the Lord of the Dead? Because we see associated with Nito corpses and skeletons and other traditional, you know, dead stuff type monsters. But does that mean that your soul remains in your body forever and you're just trapped as a skeleton? Or does that mean that Nito is in fact ruler of some kind of afterlife, and the skeletons and so on that serve Nito are, you know, either animated constructs, you know, soulless skeletons that are simply doing what they're told, or perhaps souls that are willingly remaining in the mortal plane to... Oh, look, we can summon in another player. That's good. Always good to get some help for fights like this, especially if you're going to be silly like me and... Oh, summoning failed. That's no fair. I hate it when summonings fail. The, Oh. What's the word? I guess netcode for, Dark Souls 1 is terrible. I think it's a legacy of when the game used to be on Games for Windows Live. It's just dreadful. And the game's multiplayer capacities are famously bad for actually summoning people in to help you. Should we try again? Summoning failed. So the thing. There's the thing and the stuff. So that aside from Nito aside, it's worth thinking then that if the people of the gods are giants, then perhaps, you know, because those four people were, it's implied, sort of members of the same kind of people, right? There was this one kind of primordial people, of whom one became the Witch of Izalith, one became Gwyn, various others became the various other gods, one of them became Nito, and one of them became the Furtive Pygmy. Perhaps the Furtive... Oh wow, did you see that? Black Iron Tarka staggered this thing, it's massive. That's why people like him, because he can hit hard enough to stagger a giant golem. Is it just... I guess it's still staggering? Or maybe it's just stuck. Still, waste not, want not. So... It's pretty widely accepted, and I think outright stated at certain points, that humanity are the children of the Furtive Pygmy. If a giant is born tiny, then it might be human-sized, you know. An unusually small giant is a human. Oh shit! Don't throw. Okay, cool. Sometimes if you get caught in that attack, he just straight up throws you off the edge. So I was worried he might do that to Altar. So yeah, what's a pygmy to a giant? A human. So the humans are of the Furtive Pygmy, and one of my favourite things about the Furtive Pygmy is that, if you remember in the opening narration, it goes, the Furtive Pygmy, so easily forgotten, and I genuinely forgot that there was a fourth ancient lord on my first playthrough of the game. I just genuinely completely forgot that there was a Furtive Pygmy at all, which is exactly what is supposed to happen. This game was designed by clever people. Ouch. Come on, one more hit. Good job, Tarkus. I salute you, my friend. So, well, that's that taken care of, huh? This would be a really fitting place to end this episode, but unfortunately I've still got 5 more minutes or so of runtime, so... yeah, so... This is really interesting. See this? This is an enormous giant doorway. Who lives up in Anor Londo, the city of the gods? The gods. What are the gods? Giants. Giant doorway. The fact that this is bricked up, you can see there's the stonework of Anor Londo is ancient, but almost completely unharmed by time, by the passage of time. It's divine architecture. This is a very literal distinction between the worlds of God, the world of gods and the world of men. We have a fortress in the mortal world. I mean, it's in Lordran, but, you know, Lordran is the sort of liminal place between the world of myth and the world of humanity. And we have a literal connection between, which has been bricked up by what appears to be human stonework, or at least mortal stonework, because it's exactly the same as the stonework in the rest of Sten's fortress, and perhaps what the stonework in the Undead Parish might look like, given another couple of thousand years to rot. The other implication is, of course, that at one point there was, you know, there was no border between mortality and divinity. There was a golden age where the heroes of humankind could pass at will unto the realm of the gods. Long, long ago, judging by the stonework. And that time came to an end, and that barrier was placed to block it off. So, yeah, I killed the golem. Look, there's a weird thing. What happens? I'm going to touch this giant golden circle. Nothing happened. Oh well, what to do next? Oh no. Oh no. No. Yeah, on my first playthrough I was terrified at this point because I thought they were going to kill me, but no, these are demons, right? But they're carrying me up to Anor Londo. Weird connection, huh? Because the demons aren't associated with Anor Londo, the demons are associated with Izalith. And then there's just this beautiful moment as you finally crest that wall and you see a vast city of cathedrals. Divine architecture as far as the eye can see. Bathed in gorgeous sunset light. Built of marble and alabaster. Just gold. It's gorgeous. It's one of my favourite pieces of visual design in games at all. Just the idea of the city where the gods live literally just being this cathedral that stretches as far as the eye can see. Gorgeous view. Definitely true. So, yeah. you fought your way down through the depths, through Blighttown, through a literal lake of filth at the bottom of the world. You've clawed your way back up. You've gone through the toughest challenge you've faced in the game so far, Sen's Fortress. You've bested all of these ancient, clanking iron traps, and you fought a really tough giant golem monster. And then there's this moment of intense catharsis as you step up here, and you walk before all these beautiful friezes, all this beautiful stonework, and you look across at this sunset, this sun-drenched kingdom. Yeah, I could keep talking, but I should probably stop now. Suffice to say, I really like Anor Londo. Now, yeah, so that's probably enough for this episode. I'm just going to go rest at this bonfire, but, yeah. Stuff and things. I am rendered speechless by the glory of Anor Londo. Oh look, who's this?
Well, you are a rare visitor. Welcome to the lost city of Anor Londo, chosen undead. If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you.
So yeah, this is the firekeeper of this fire. The interesting thing about this is this is clearly not a place built for a bonfire, you know, it's just in the middle of a floor. And who is she? It's a bit of a mystery.
What is it? What am I? Well, I am the keeper of the bonfire. If not for me, what beacon would there be in this lost city? a gatekeeper, and a guide. That is my calling.
So, I've mentioned before how much I love the visual design, not just of the environments, but of the outfits, the armours and characters in this game. This is what I'm talking about. I can forgive Chaos Witch Krelag's blatant male gaze design because, you know, someone we haven't met yet, Sieglinde of Katarina, she wears the identical armour to her father. The Dark Moon Knightess here, you know, she wears completely reasonable armour. It's a full suit of armour. It's fantastic.
The bonfires attended by the keepers are special. They are linked to one another, and their flames never die. Yet never shall the keepers of these flames meet.
So, that's the Firekeeper link then. Fire-kept bonfires are linked, and the fires never go out. The undead can light fires, if they wish, but those fires will eventually go out.
If you require rest, now is the time. That is, after all, what the bonfire is for. If you require rest, that is...
Sorry, just have to make sure that I've plumbed out all the dialogue. So, time to rest and spend some souls. I can't. Oh, there we go. I was worried for a moment, thought it might be being invaded. So, I put a couple points in faith at the end of last episode, so that I'd be able to wield the Astora straight sword. I think I'm going to put some points in vitality, and let's say put a couple more strength. Okay. So, well, that's that. I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.